First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. No, ooh, the way that things have been. No, ooh. I said from heartache to the things and rain down like rain. Me, made me a believer, believer. Hey, okay. Hi there. How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. My name is Refilwe Kome, and this is my world of real, relevant, and ridiculousness. This week's video is about me doing an analysis of my poem Dad's Death, and let's have fun with it. Okay, so this is a analysis of my poem Dad's Death. So just to give you a bit of a background how the poem came about and where it came from, it did come from my father's literal death. He in the year of 2016 he had been in and out of the hospital. It started about January, in the beginning of the year, where he just started feeling pain in his stomach and something like that. He couldn't keep anything down. He was always puking and he was in constant pain. And so yeah, for the 8 months from the beginning of the year to like the beginning of October, he just was just in and out of the hospital. And this poem is about how I feel like I wasn't sufficiently there for him. And so getting into the poem, the first line would be, when I remember how he sometimes cried out in extreme pain, or how his voice would break and he would wail. So yes, it's one of those things you never forget. So sometimes I just find myself sitting and suddenly I just go back to the year, and the memory is just like a distant thought. It's still there, and I just sometimes sit and I remember how he would suffer, and how this man I had known as my dad all my life, the strong man I had never seen crack or crumble, would just his voice would break, because he's trying to stay strong, but then it just gets to him and then he just would break down, and he would cry, and I didn't know what to do with that, because I had never seen that happen before. Then the next line of the poem, Dad's Death, is, when in deep thought my mind trails back to the day he was first admitted into the hospital when all else failed. Yes, because we did everything we could. We tried medicinal things, we tried herbal things, we tried we prayed, we fasted, we did everything, and then the hospital was just, yeah, for sure, someone you love is sick, take them to the hospital. And that was when it became real, I guess. That's when it got real, that he's actually not well, and that was just the beginning of the hardship and the many terrible days to come, months to come. When I remember how he got thin, then thinner and thinner still, my heart breaks and my body becomes frail. So as I said, it was the beginning of just all the hardship, because you'd think someone going to the hospital would get better, and they'd get the help that they needed. It wasn't so. He just he was just in constant pain, and trying to eat would just make it worse. And like, I don't know what was up. I really don't. I wish I did, but just him being in constant pain and trying to do something as simple as eating was just too painful. And then again, he would just, anything that he would try to consume then would just, he couldn't keep it down. And my heart breaks and my body becomes frail is because when I remember that, how he suffered, it's just, apart from him dying, that's just one of the other things that really hurt. Just seeing him getting thin and thinner, and just, it broke my heart. It just, seeing someone you love, and your father, your dad, um it just, it's hard to bear, and to watch, hopeless, knowing that you can't do anything to make it better. Oh God, why did I not see him fade? Why were my eyes to truth so shade? Is the next part of That's That poem. That's Death poem. Um, uh, he was fading away. He was, and he was dying a slow, torturous death. And why were my eyes to truth so shade? Why did I hide my eyes from the truth? Um, is not only because, like, I kept telling myself that he's gonna make it, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna do better, but like, I also expected him to get better for me. I didn't know what was best for him. I didn't know, I didn't really suffer while he suffered. I didn't really think about it from his perspective, is why I said that part of the next part of Dad's Death poem is, when I last saw him, how his choice of song, he sang, soon and very soon we're going to see the king. And I remember how I flung away all question and wonder, saying, I know he shall prevail. Um, it's true. My brother and I didn't get to see much of my father because during all this time we were still going to school. I was in grade 11. My brother was in his, I think, second year of university. And then yeah, he didn't really like my brother and I visiting him, because I think he didn't want us to see him in that condition, and he just wanted us to remember him as he was. And on that note, my mom went to visit him almost every single day, and the hospital was like an hour's drive away, in good traffic, like, not with congestions and all that. And so she never crumbled. She was so strong, and she was amazing, considering all things. And yeah, I was in boarding school, my brother was in uni, and that was the last time I ever saw him. um and I just, sat on the bed with him, and then we were just singing gospel songs, and he chose us to sing that song. I guess now it was his way of saying goodbye, but at that point, it just, I flung it away. I didn't want to consider the fact, um the possibility of him dying, and I just said, he will survive. He will, if it's the last thing I can make happen. um Again, I reiterate on the fact of, I didn't know how he suffered. I slept well while he felt hell. Again, this is the main part of the poem. Um, One of the things that I regret most is not suffering while he suffered. I I wasn't affected to match the struggle. My behavior, my personality, I mean, I was still going to school, I was still working hard in school, just, and he was here, out here dying, and I wasn't suffering and matching his pain with my own. I wasn't sufficiently there for him. I feel like I should have seen him more. I should have been in pain more. I should have been emo or something, and I wasn't. I I wasn't, and I just feel like, man, I could have been there for him a bit more. I could have been better. I could have done something. Um, and it's just something that I regret, and I wish I wish I had done. So the next part of Dad's Death poem is um I I smiled while he drowned. Oh God, forgive me for not suffering while my brother suffered. It is a biblical verse that says, suffer with those who suffer, smile with those who smile, celebrate with those who celebrate. And I feel like I didn't do that. And yeah, again, I wasn't there for him as much as I could have. Take care of my dad, for I already miss him. Now, this part of the poem is a transition to tell you for a fact, if you've been wondering all this time, he is in fact dead. He has passed away and to the next life. So it tells you, take care of my dad, for I already miss him. It just is indicative and it suggests that, okay, so her dad is really gone. He didn't get better. And then says, watch for my mom, for her one half is gone. Because I don't know what it must be like to lose your soulmate, to lose your one half, because it says the two shall become one, and if that half that makes you two one is just snatched away from you and taken, I don't know what that does to a person. But again, my mom never crumbled. She never really did. And if anything, her faith got stronger, and she's just, wow. She stayed strong for me and my brother, for herself, and for my dad. So she was amazing. And then also watch out for my brother who grows into a man. That's the next part of the poem. And that is basically it. My brother's not very open about his feelings and emotions, so that's when I just pray to God that God, you know, mom and I can only do so much for him. A boy needs a father. Please just look out for him too. And then the last part is for me, and the last part of the poem is, and secure my heart, for it is green and it easily breaks. And that's just for me because I'm so sensitive. I am so I have a big heart, and I love with my big heart, and it's just that I'm hoping that my heart will mend, after losing my father, and that I will get better. Yes, lastly, I would say I appreciate everyone who was there for me, family, friends, my school, Rabone Christian School. They stepped up so much, and I just really appreciate everyone. I appreciate my mom for standing so firm and for just being amazing, like she always is. She's the reason I'm here. Literally, and she's just also the reason I'm still alive, because she's helped me through a lot. And things that girls who grow up without dads go through in their lives, like I don't know, like being teenage moms and being too attracted to guys and being more susceptible to such things. I wouldn't say I've ever had to experience any of that. I haven't needed drugs to help me through pain or anything like that. So I'm great. The only thing I would say is, man, I miss my dad so much more now than I did then, if that's possible. Alright, that's where I'm gonna end it for this week. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below anything you want to comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I have a lot more of me where all this came from. Alright. Bye bye.